South Africa was not helped by Mandela. In fact, what Mandela did to South Africa has really destroyed the country. Before you attack, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Why do I say that? You see, when Nkrumah was in power and the South Africans were fighting apartheid and other things, Mandela was moving around Africa, soliciting for funds, so that this ANC political party, which Mandela was part of, could win power. And you see, ANC won power because black South Africans are about 85% and the white South Africans are just 15%. But there was something Mandela did that did not help South Africa and will initially come back to hurt South Africa the more. Most of the properties, the lands, Mandela had an agreement with the whites. So here's the catch. Black South Africans are 85%, the white South Africans are 15%. 85% of the honorable valuable lands, 85% of the valuable lands in South Africa belongs to the white, and 15% of the somehow useless land belongs to the blacks. So you see, 85% population, 15% land, and let's say possession, and then 15% population, 85% possession. This Nkrumah met with Nelson Mandela when he came to Ghana, to look for funds. Nkrumah listened to Mandela and told Mandela that, look, what you are doing or your plans about South Africa is not good. So it got to a point Nkrumah even have to sponsor other political parties in South Africa so that they can also overthrow Mandela. But initially, some of them were killed and all that. To cut the long story short, let's come to recent South Africa and look at the blacks and look at the way most of them behave. Most of them are behaving like Mandela because they have been indoctrinated in such a way that they believe the other African is their enemy, but the white is their friends. And believe me, most of them don't have this entrepreneurial spirit. Most of them don't know how to manage any business because most of them are being paid some allowances every month. And believe me, as soon as you begin to pay a lazy man, you begin to compliment a lazy man for being lazy, that man will always remain lazy. And will not just remain lazy, that man will become an entitled lazy man. He believes everything good must come to him, but he must not work to achieve anything good. South Africa, look at your stores. The foreigners are leaving, and you can't even open them up. I've not seen any South African, I've not seen any movement whereby they say we will now open most of these stores and then manage it ourselves and start the business and do it better. No, all the foreigners must leave. In quote, blacks. It has come to my notice that South Africa It's not even a country, but a business, according to the whites. Their president is a puppet. Mandela, who is being praised by the whites, was also a puppet. In fact, Mandela's wife had an issue with the husband because of how he saw the whites. He saw them to be, you see, when he was imprisoned, he was tortured so much in his brain to the extent that maybe he thinks the whites are even Jesus Christ. That's why when the protesters, anytime they encounter any Lebanese, any Indian, any white, look at the way they talk to them. And when they see their fellow monkeys, blacks, look at the way they also talk to them. Before I end my video, South Africa, I believe when I prophesy that a time is coming, the blacks will be so much oppressed by the white, like the way Israel is doing in Gaza, to the point that they will come back to the whole continent of Africa to come and help them. And I don't know if any nation or any country in Africa will decide to help. But South Africans need to change their mentality. It is your country. You have the right to sack any illegal in your country, but in the process whereby people who are trying to become legal through documentation are even refused based on nothing, proves that the whole South African system, the whole governmental machine has been tuned to prevent other Africans to become South Africans because they believe they are somehow superior to we the blacks, but they are not equal to the whites. I'll end my submission here. Subscribe and like my videos. Bye-bye.